What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We've got some big news. 2 new mechanics are being introduced, the offlane is getting tweaked slightly, and Kallari is getting some changes. In the Paragon Community Episode 5, Cameron Winston shared some insight.
In one of our episodes, you mentioned talking about some of the Kallari tweaks and changes and making her, massaging her. I think
massaging her,
the term that you used. What changes specifically are we making to Kallari?
So when she double jumps, she's going to be able to throw a dagger that homes to everyone on the enemy team.
Don't.
No.
And massages them.
That's massages.
And massages.
Stop it. That is not true.
So what actually is going to happen is, we're moving her double jump ability, which is actually a triple jump, from her primary ability to space bar jump, because it's just more intuitive to be able to jump with jump. So it's just going to feel better when you're able to do that. We're also taking the mana cost off it, so it's just something that she gets to do on a cooldown. She just gets to jump. We're also putting a passive component on it, which is going to give her health regen when she's in the shadow plane, and it's fairly significant. I think it caps out at like 12.
Survivability, you say?
Well, so remember, like, we always intended her as an offlaner, right? So like giving her the ability to like go into shadow plane and heal up while staying in the lane and getting experience is desirable. Also, it's going to help her rotate a lot better and kind of have fun with you know, some new, especially some changes that we're making that I guess we're not allowed to talk about this week. But there's certain things in the offlane that are changing in version 40 that she's going to be able to take tremendous advantage of. So next week, remember this moment, and then when we talk about it, I'm going to bring it up again next week. So so the idea is, like, you know, as a Kallari, you want to be roaming around the map and like looking for opportunities, especially early game. So this is going to give her some like roaming sustain as she gets in the shadow plane a lot. The other thing is we're doing to her is we're giving her the ability to kind of like, if she takes too much damage, she gets a little bit low in health, she's just going to kind of pop into the shadow plane once every minute, like just reflexively. So that way, if you're like focusing her, she's got like a little bit of a shot to get away. So again, and then again, she's also getting some base damage on her dagger. And we're moving that to primary, so it's going to be a little bit easier for controller players.
It'll feel like my Richter pulse.
Yeah, it's going to work just like Richter pull. It's like it's going to go on that button. So it's like you're going to, again, it's you know, all kidding aside, like, Kallari's an expert level hero. She's always going to be, you're always going to be like trying to hit people with daggers and jumping and flipping and positioning yourself. Like, that's part of who she is.
Now, it's no secret that Kallari has been in a bad spot for a while, and it's mainly because everyone grabs Shadow Wards, and Kallari relies on that element of surprise. Vision is something Epic is still iterating on, and maybe down the line they may make changes that provide an advantage to picking a hero like Kallari. But in her current state, there really is no benefit. I don't think Kallari was ever designed to be a competitive pick. I think she was made to be a high skill cap hero that with a lot of hours invested can truly become a deadly assassin. So let's talk about the changes. The first one was moving her double jump to the spacebar and removing mana costs that are associated with an ability. This, in my opinion, makes Kallari more of a stealthy assassin, and the fact that she can triple jump literally at any time and disappear past a fog wall or even into the shadow plane makes her incredibly elusive. And something a lot of good players will be doing is watching the enemy's current mana, but because this is now a jump, not an ability, you can't really track if she has enough mana for the jump, and it's gonna make killing Kallari pretty difficult. And that's not the only thing that's going to make it difficult. They've given Kallari a passive component that allows her to enter the shadow plane when she takes a lot of damage. This effect could only occur once a minute, and she gets health regeneration while in the shadow plane, roughly 12 health per second. Kallari was always designed to be a solo laner, even way back in Legacy, but for some reason a lot of people took her into the jungle. Hopefully with these changes it solidifies her role as an offlaner. Think about it, Cameron Winston mentioned that you can sit in the shadow plane and collect XP while your health regenerates, while all other offlaners generally have to do their white camps or are forced to play quite risky. Another change to note is that the dagger has now been moved to where the double jump previously was, so to your right mouse button. It's the same change they did with Richter to make it easier to hit the ability. At first I didn't like it, but now I've become used to it. The dagger is essentially a quick cast ability, so I believe you would hold to aim and then release to throw. They've also suggested that they're going to increase the base damage of her dagger throw. Also, before we go into the new hero and the new mechanics associated with this hero, they did mention that there are going to be changes to the offlane, and as an offlane main, I welcome these changes. The offlaner is a pretty difficult position, especially with a deadly combo like Revenant and Decker. At a lot of high elo games, you'll see the wave getting froze at the enemy's tier 1, so either you push to leech XP and risk dying, or you farm jungle camps. But these changes suggest that they're going to make the offlane offlane role a lot easier and hopefully less punishing. The next hero is rumored to be a support, and man, it's been forever since we've gotten one of those. Hello, Narbash. She is going to have 2 new mechanics, a blind mechanic and a new mechanic that allows you to reposition or pull friendly heroes.
There's 2 new mechanics.
Yeah.
You said this on stream. So what are those new mechanics? What's the very first one?
All right,
Dig deep
so
on this.
pay attention because I'm not going to say this twice.
Okay.
So first off, she's got... So that's how it's going to work.
God.
Wow.
Dude, how cool is that?
That is amazing.
There's no way.
Yeah, dude.
There's
we
no
made it.
way.
We made
Really?
it happen. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's a game changer.
Dude, it is.
I can't imagine just swing and a miss.
I hope you got that.
Swing and a miss.
Oh my.
I hope you got
Just
that.
swing and a miss. I've actually seen some funny stuff.
Yeah.
I told
already.
you about it. It was like this Grux just swinging and missing.
Yeah.
It was great. The other thing that's coming is this great ability that we want to show off, where she gets to do this thing. What is that?
Well, why don't we just show and not tell?
Okay, we'll just show you guys.
So my teachers always used to say, "Show not tell." When I was writing, write papers.
Now it seems like the second mechanic is similar to that of Richter's hook, but maybe it works slightly different. I'm not too sure, but it does sound like a great tool because in Monolith at the moment, being out of position even once late game could definitely cost you an entire match, and having a hero that can sort of mitigate that potentially would be huge. For those of you who are not familiar with the blind mechanic, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not either, this is my first MOBA, the way it works in at least League according to Google is that when blind is applied, the target will miss auto attacks. I think this would also stop lock-on abilities from basically locking on. I spoke to iFairless and he mentioned that there are 2 types of blinds in League, one that makes you miss auto attacks and another that removes vision. The one that removes vision would definitely stop lock-on abilities, but the one that makes you miss auto attacks would still allow you to land lock-on abilities. So depending on which stance Epic take on this new mechanic, we could potentially see this blind mechanic countering a lot of easy to play lock-on heroes. I'm interested to know your thoughts on Kallari and the 2 new mechanics and potentially this female support hero, although this hasn't been confirmed as far as I'm aware. Did the changes to Kallari go far enough to make her viable? Do these 2 new mechanics have potential to mitigate those easy to play heroes? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe for all the latest Paragon content, and until next time guys, peace.